Welcome, this is Nathan, welcome back to another video. Today, we're taking a look at Alternative Future of the World, Season 3, Part 3. Today, we'll be looking at a major war, which will include not all the world, but most of the world in it. It has been over 2 months since I last did a video on this series. And, I'm ready to come back for it. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a while, I've had a lot of stuff going on. Like, just personal stuff, it's not really stuff I can talk about. But anyway, in the last video, I really don't remember what happened in the last video, the Qing Dynasty completely collapsed, leading to all the surrounding countries, leading to all the countries getting independence. We have a Southern Chinese one, Tibet, Xinjiang, Mongolia, Manchuria, and Inner Mongolia, I think I called it. And I think we saw the expansion of this alliance, which I forgot the name of, so we might come up with a new name for it. But anyway, we're going to be focusing on World War I today. Now, you might be looking at this map and saying there's literally one alliance, Nathan. How can there be World War I already? We're only in Part 3, how can there be World War I right now? Well, it's because stuff is starting to brew. With Switzerland just disappearing out of thin air, it's left a lot of countries confused. Rightfully so. You know, Switzerland, it doesn't make sense. Just like nearly everybody in the country of Switzerland just to vanish like that. So a lot of countries have been like investigating, mostly the ones that took the land. But somebody who has been investigating is the Inca Empire. And they've discovered something that we'll get to later, but they've discovered something that might be crucial to the end of this series, which, by the way, is still 21 parts. But it will also reveal a lot of stuff. But anyway, let's begin with the Russian Empire. The Russian Empire will form an alliance. Now, this said alliance is going to be known as the Axis. Now, that name, yes, it is that name for a reason. Russia's formed this alliance because they want to restore a world where everything is expansionist. They want to rule the world. And countries that will join this said alliance will include such countries as the German Empire will join this alliance. And that'll be it for now. But this automatically starts rising tensions between the Pink and Green Lime Alliance. I'm going to call this the Axis. So, the Axis and the Pink Alliance, they are now having tensions rising over just stuff, because this is kind of serious. But tensions are now rising between these two. And, like, if a war breaks out, it's not that serious. Obviously, Russian Empire is one of the strongest countries in the world, so it kind of is. But anyway, we have some events taking place in France and the UK. Their empires are almost collapsed. France, this is what France owns. This is all they own now. This is all the UK owns. And, well, Africa is mostly independent in this universe. Just like the stronger areas haven't been independent. But these areas will finally declare their independence, and the British and the French are too weak to do anything. So, kind of like the second season, they're just going to, like, release these randomly. It's not really, like, any coordination. So there you have four. Egypt and Sudan will be broken apart very strangely. And just like that, Africa's now completely free. France and the UK still have horrible relations. And Africa's an absolute mess. But anyway, heading back over to Europe, a lot of these countries in like the Middle Eastern area of Europe are experiencing kind of an economic depression. Now, these countries, like compared to their neighbours, are weak as hell. The strongest one here is Romania, but a lot of them are experiencing economic depression. And the reason is because the world is entering into like a stage of like kind of like research and all that crap. I don't know, but a lot of these countries are entering into that. Austria will enter so badly that Germany will actually just annex them. Now, remember, this is fine. Nobody's gonna care about this. If this happened in real life, obviously stuff would start to get spread around, but World War II never happened, so that treaty was never signed. So, we have Austria uniting with Germany. Totally an invasion by the Germans. And Czechia is just gonna make a smart decision here. To make sure they don't die, they're gonna join the Axis. Now, it's kind of sad that they were they thought they had to be forced to do that, because they really didn't. But, we have an event taking place over in the Americas. The Inca Empire, what it discovered in the remains of Switzerland was the remains of the time machine. This is technology beyond anything anybody's seen. And the Inca Empire will take this thing into experimenting, and they will try and fix it, but they realise very quickly that this time machine is much more advanced than even some of the most advanced technology right now in the modern day. Now, this is for like 2032, 2033. But the Inca Empire realises that this time machine is so much more advanced than anything the world has seen yet. They kind of try and keep it to themselves. But the time machine is so broken and just shattered that there may be no hope. But anyway, the Inca Empire is a powerhouse in this timeline. So, they kind of rule the South American continent with Brazil and Argentina. But nobody else in the world even knows that such a thing exists. Oh, also, I don't know if did I say the Alaskan Purchase happened? Because the American-Mexican War never happened, I want to say no. Because the Russian Empire still exists, so I want to say no. But anyway, the Inca Empire discovering such a, monumental thing, they will take it into further development. And the people don't even know about this. It's kind of hidden by the government. But anyway, Inca Empire will now begin an expansion into one of its neighbours. Sorry, Paraguay, you've been bullied for the past few series. The Inca Empire will begin its invasion of Paraguay. This is to get resources to fix up the time machine, because they believe that Paraguay could have some helpful stuff. But again, the only country that would be able to fix it is Switzerland. So troops enter into Paraguay and basically capitulate the country. But there's really no hope. So Paraguay will fall pretty quickly, and the Inca Empire will fully annex them in the peace treaty. No surprise here. It's such a minor event, nobody cares. So the Inca Empire will annex Paraguay into their country, and it really does not help. So they just annex the country because they wanted supplies for the time machine. So they will now reach out to one of their few allies, the United States. And they will tell the United States about the time machine, but the USA says, well, it's not, they don't know it's a time machine, but like, the USA says, we don't even know what this is. And in fact, even none of the world will know what this is. Now, I know we've only had one war, but right now, the Pink and Lime Alliance, the Axis, are preparing to go to war. Now, they look little. That it's not going to be like a world war. So I was just going to evolve into a world war. Well, you might have saw this coming from like a mile away, but the Inca Empire will join the Pink Alliance. Now, the Inca Empire is a top 5 power, maybe even top 3 because they collapsed the Qing Dynasty in the last episode. So, this isn't really a joke, and this just makes tensions rise even more, as the Russians will now look to add more members to their alliance. They get Manchuria in the alliance, they get the British Raj, which is kind of a shocker to the entire world. They even get France, which kind of surrounds Italy. But at this point, Slovenia, Croatia and Bosnia will all unite together to keep themselves safe. As by looks of it, they're about to experience a world war on their borders. And sadly, just to let you guys know, they won't survive in this war. Now, we have an event taking place, which, is kind of serious. It's the United States versus the Mexican Empire. Now, this war broke out over a dispute over Texas, but I want to let you guys know something. The Mexican Empire in this timeline is not weak. The United States is probably a top 10, 15 power, but they're not strong enough to fight the Mexican Empire, who is number 2 in my opinion, Russian Empire being number 1. So the USA will have some success at first, pushing into Texas, which is where most of their troops were stationed. And this goes well, until it doesn't. That all of Rantzman is completely kicked out, and, well, it's completely game over for the USA. Troops enter into Washington and take it no issue, as the USA literally did not expect an invasion from up here. And just add to the pain, remember, this is alternate timeline, so this is not the same timeline. Canada will help Mexico in this war. At this point, the USA is about to get doubled whammied on. The Inca Empire would help, but they're not bothered by this. Washington's captured and the United States crumbles within a couple of months. So let's take a look at this peace treaty. And the peace treaty, oof. The USA is reduced down to basically just the 13 colonies over here. Mexico takes a gigantic piece of land, and Canada also does as well, surrounding the entire Great Lakes, which they want it for more fishing, I guess, to sell. So with this, the USA is literally crumbled. The USA is now a shell of what it was. And well, this will kind of cripple, like, any country that was buying stuff for the USA, because now they've lost most of their land. But Mexico is going to be looked at as the next big power in the Americas, because the USA was kind of the big buyer. But now that most of that is gone, you know. And this is going to definitely affect the world, because the USA was actually still a pretty big economic power. Sure, they lost California, but they still are, like, the East. They still are, like, the coast over here with, like, Virginia and like Massachusetts, which are like some of the most richest states in the USA, they still are like Florida and other stuff. So obviously without California and Texas, sure, but they might still have had a big economic powerhouse. Anyway, we have a union taking place over here in Africa, over here in Spain, over here in Iberia. It's going to be between Portugal and Spain to form Iberian Union. That's very small, but it still does something. But now it's time for the big war. And the Inca Empire has been able to fix the time machine. Now, how? Well, somebody from Switzerland actually fled all the way to the Inca Empire, because they knew where the time machine went. They fixed it up. They fixed everything up with the time machine, and now the time machine is fully working again. This person is hoping to get back to World War II Day, to get back to the World War II days, but this won't work, because World War I just broke out. And it's going to be Iran. Wait, no, that's the wrong country. It's going to be Russia invading Iran. Now, this immediately calls in the entire Pink Alliance. Of course it would. So every single member of the Pink Alliance is called into the war. Norway, you're probably done for. And the Inca Empire is also called into the war. Now, the Russian Empire, could they win this by themselves? They could probably stalemate, but I really doubt it. I doubt they could even take out all this. So they're going to be invading the Caucasian Mountains for like a little buffer zone. And they will also be calling in their allies. British Raj will join the war. Oh my god, not the Mediterranean. Why would the Mediterranean join the war? France, German Empire, oh god. German Empire, Czechia will join the war, and Manchuria will join the war. The blue team is screwed. The British Raj is number 4. German Empire is like top 10, same with France. The blue team is screwed. But what if they had some tricks up their sleeves? Some people that were going to add to this war just in case this happened. Well, they're China. The Shell of China. I don't know how that's going to end well. They have Brazil. That's on the other side of the world. They have Egypt. And Saudi Arabia. And this thing. And also they have Iberia. So cool. And the UK. So, cool. Not really, this doesn't give them much. Other than like Brazil, this really does not give them much. I guess the UK as well. But the Russian Empire is no joke. The military is a monster. Literally, it is a monster. So, just like this, we have the beginning of World War I. The Caucasian Union will cripple like a cheap chair. And troops will begin to enter into the Ottoman Empire. Now, the Ottoman Empire is one of the strongest countries on the blue team. But still, the Russian Empire's army is going to be just overwhelming them. Troops from Turkmenistan, there will not be many, but they will exit out into Iran as like a distraction. And we see troops from Caucasia also exit out. France will begin to invade Spain, but Spain will stalemate, Iberia. The English Channel becomes the Death Channel, and Italy will experience, well, they die. This thing gets taken out with no trouble at all. China, they're not going to last long. So, that was more to like wipe out the more or less important areas. Also, I'm not colouring Alaska. Yeah, as we can see, this war's taking a twist for the worst. We have the Ottoman Empire making the decision to completely abandon this area over here to focus on protecting the mainland, which that was actually a smart decision. So, because all defending troops over there can now, some of them can defend the front line in Istanbul and also push back over here. And when it goes quite well, Iran's able to push back, and by looks at this is kind of like a turning point, which it is. This is now a stalemate. Iran is able to push this, whatever this is, back. But, see, the issue is, British Raj troops are now entering in from here. Now, technically this could not be classed as World War I, but there nearly is a country in almost every continent involved. And, well, it's obvious that tons of people have died from this. Now, Afghanistan is being a little pain in the butt. If they would have joined the red team, that would be huge. If they joined the blue team, that would be huge. But just to make sure they don't do that, yeah. Russia and British Raj know that if Afghanistan were to join the war, that would be devastating, because that could be troops entering from there, that, and there. So, they do this. They completely cut off Iran from Afghanistan. And to ensure that no troops fly across Iran into Afghanistan, we have the British Raj and Russian Empire going to war with Afghanistan. Now, again, this is really weird, because, why are they doing this? Afghanistan had no plan to join the war, but kind of like Iran in World War II, they have to be safe. Sorry, but Afghanistan's not what they're like in real life today. Of course, the American War never happened, the British War, that never happened, the Soviet Union never invaded, because, well, that didn't even happen. At this point, Iran is now panicking, because there's, a million troops entering into their country at once. Turkey, Ottoman Empire is going to try and stalemate this, but while trying to stalemate this, troops jump over and capture Istanbul and will now begin to take the coast. But not to worry, because Inca Empire troops are here. It really does nothing but stalemate, except from this front line, which is going to hell. I mean, this is number 1, and Iran will just tell the others that they're going to surrender and protect themselves. But, see, the issue is, that was a dumb decision, because troops are now entering into Turkey as well. And this front is not slowing down. The Inca Empire is eventually able to stalemate it at some point, but Ottoman Empire is basically already at the crippling point. They've lost Istanbul, they only have Ankara left and really Jerusalem. Going back to here, Norway will completely fall. I kind of forgot to touch upon them. And by looks at it, the red team is going to win this war. But not so fast, because the Inca Empire just pulls an ace out. Just pulled an ace from their sleeve. You know the time machine? Well, they're using that to their advantage. They're making weapons from time machines like fuel to be used against in this war. Now, that's risky, I know. They know it's risky, but with this, they're going to be doing something that's not been done ever. They're going to create some nuclear bombs to drop in Russia and the British Raj. These nuclear bombs are powerful. They're not powerful. They're not as powerful as the TARS are. The TARS still takes that sweet spot, and that was still made in this universe and dropped on this island up here. I think it was on this island up here. Yeah. Where was the TARS dropped? Because I heard it was dropped on Ireland, but I've been told about Vapri Island. I was told it was dropped up here, and I was also told it was dropped in oceans, or I don't know. But with this, nukes that are probably, I'll say, stronger than the nukes dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki are dropped in Moscow, Stockholm, Karachi, Islamabad, New Delhi, Dhaka. That'll be it. We also have one heading over to St. Petersburg. After a little bit, one hits Berlin, one hits Paris, and millions of people are dead. One smashes in Beijing, and Well, now the war seems to be taking a turning point. Nuclear weapons are being used in Oli Part 3. You can tell this series is going to be going to hell. Iran and Turkey are now liberated as tons of troops are dying. Turkey completely kicks out from the main peninsula, and they also liberate the Caucasus Mountains. Afghanistan will be liberated. Oh my god, I can't speak. Spain will kick this back. This will be kicked back as well, so Italy's also back in the war. Norway, the British are trying to make a landing there, but the French are still bombarding their navy. But Inca says, focus on the war, we will liberate Norway. And so they do. Norway's liberated with no issue. And at this point, Operation Liberation is starting. This is to liberate the countries that have fallen to these... To liberate the countries that have fallen to these expansionist countries. And with them right now in, like, crippling their... I need to make this quick, because my phone is going to flat. With this event of the nukes, these nukes have killed millions. We have France surrendering with no thought. The German Empire will also surrender. Now, the reason they're doing this is because they want to make sure that they keep as much land as possible. Czechia will surrender over. But now this one leaves the three strongest. The Russian Empire, British Raj, and Manchuria. And oh, what a surprise, they're not budging. Manchuria kind of puts two and two together and realizes they're going to lose. So Manchuria will just leave the war, angering the Russian Empire to the core. They say, why the hell did you leave the war? And Manchuria said, put two and two together. We ain't going to win. We've been nuked. There's no way of winning. Now, the Russian Empire could easily use nukes here, but the issue is their capital was nuked, and the president is dead. So there's nobody to really command the nukes. In this timeline, nukes are used a bit differently. It's obviously in real life, nukes are said to be used by the commander, the leader of countries, but the leader died here, and nobody else can set off nukes. In real life, I don't think that'll be the thing. But at this point, Central Asia begins to rebel. So we have a massive chunk of Central Asia just saying, smell you later, Russia, and breaking away. Over here in Europe, Slovakia will redeclare its independence, finally being free, and will probably end up just taking over Czechia, to be honest. And at this point, it's looking like it's game over, as we see Finland and Sweden both rebel against Russian rule. And, at this point, the Russian Empire is kind of collapsing. Alaska will declare its independence. And, troops are now entering in to capture any major cities remaining. They are taking over the coast, and this is really crippling the Russian Empire's economy. Well, what's left of it. We have troops making landings on the coast here, and this is where, most of this land just declares its independence. The Baltics, Poland, Ukraine, and Belarus all leave the Russian Empire, leading to the Russian Empire surrendering. And the British Raj will simply just get out the war. And that will end World War I. And nukes are using it. But something I need to point out, China is still under occupation of British Raj troops. So that will end definitely strangely. So let's take a look at this gigantic peace treaty. I cannot talk. So, taking a look at this peace treaty, I can easily say the world map is a lot different. So, taking a look over here, Iran got half Turkmenistan and the Central Asian Union was released. Going over to the British Raj, Pakistan and Myanmar released. They were thinking about releasing Bangladesh, but this is literally just India, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka now. The Russian Empire is no longer an empire. I could easily fix this in the next video, but I need to fix it now because it's bothering me. But Russia is now a shell of itself. It is no longer the power. That will now go to the Mexican Empire. Behind them is the Inca Empire. Behind that is the Ottoman Empire. As we can see, oh, I forgot one thing. As we can see, most of the countries that joined that war have left the Pink Alliance, which I'm actually gonna call like Order of Peace. It's alliance that just wants peace, which is why they did release than actually annex land. If the Axis had won this war, they would have annexed land. They wouldn't have focused on, like, making new countries, maybe like puppets, but they would have focused on, like, just annexing countries and all that stuff. Ukraine, but Belarus, the Baltic Union, Poland, Austria, Slovakia, Moldova were all released. The Caucasian Union got some land. And only a couple of days after this war, Moldova will unite into Romania. Just because, it's kind of obvious. Finland was released, Sweden was released, and Sweden immediately joined the Order of Peace. What happened in France? They lost all the Mediterranean coast, crippling their country. And Germany is no longer an empire. I mean, sure, it's still so serene, but that's not really, anything. The Inca Empire is going to be getting a lot of funds from this war, obviously. And the Axis is now reduced down to Russia and India. So they begin looking around for allies, but there is nobody that wants to join this alliance. Everyone that was in it is either being forced out or left. China's fine, by the way. They haven't lost anything. In fact, they're getting war reparations, even though they're so occupied. See, with Myanmar being released, India didn't border them. Manchuria left the war, so they weren't really doing anything. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's one of my longest videos for a while, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.